Because if I didn't, I would be one of those guys who probably thought that going to work, working a job, going to church and everything like that was just okay.
Yeah.
That was just fine as long as that was life. And that's not how this world works. That's not based on what I've done as far as research, as far as our ancestors go, that's not what they believed in. And that's not how we should continue to live our lives. All right. So introduce me to this point where you get onto the West Coast, damn it, because you leave. You hide it. I
Yeah.
see that you're trying to hide it, damn it.
So the West Coast, I came out here in 2004.
All right.
And it was a game changer for me in many ways. It really taught me like one true independence because I was completely away from like my family. So it was just like I was completely away from my family and had a new family. You know, my own family, my own spouse. Everything was not perfect by no means, but everything was just different. So it was like really taking me out of my comfort zone. And then coming to the West Coast is a different beast. It's definitely like more like dog eat dog, so to speak, in the sense
Really?
where everyone here, yeah, it's when you think like I work in tech, so when you think about like working in tech, it is very competitive and it tends to be elitist, and it also is one of those things where it's just everybody's an overachiever, everyone. And but the thing is we're overachievers to just scrape by because it's so expensive to live out here too. So you that was like one of those things. That was the first thing to navigate through. Like when I first moved out here, our rent was like $1,100, which was like unheard of. Like I would kill to pay $1,100 right now. Uh, but that was super expensive back then,
Yeah,
right?
it's
And
probably
so it
not for much. It's probably like for like a box.
it was like for a two bedroom, one bath, not glamorous apartment, like very like just simple. At least we had air conditioning, but that was it. And we lived in San Jose at the time. And then, like at that point, I wasn't college educated. I entertained going to school quite a few times, but like never went through with it because after not going to school or class, should I say, in high school often, I didn't think I was very smart, right? I was just like, oh, like comparing myself to others. I was like, I don't think I was very smart, which wasn't true. I read a lot. And my ex-husband, he was prior military. So, and he was pretty smart, arrogant, and thought he knew everything. So like being around him, I had to keep up with that. And so like I started like kind of really like getting myself like acclimated to like how things were out here, reading more, learning more about like the culture and the environment, and started getting up to speed. And I was comfortable just like being kind of like his supporter, like being in the background. That's the type of person that I normally look at myself as, like the person in the background being the support system. But then slowly but surely people started getting me out of my comfort zone and trying to get me to be the front person, which is very uncomfortable for me. But
At the
it was
time,
just
it
like
was uncomfortable.
it still is.
What? Really?
Yes, yeah, it is still very uncomfortable because it's one of those things that once again it's always safe to be in the background. I lived like that. That was my whole entire existence, like being in the background, being the youngest kid, being in the background, like just doing my own thing. And then like I kind of had this epiphany like when I was like in my late 20s because like my ex-husband was climbing up the ladder, right? And I was just like, well hell, like I want to do something with my life. And I was just like, yeah, it's cool to be a mom, it's cool to be his wife, but what am I bringing to the table? So I ended up going to school, went back to community college where I flourished, and then that kind of set and paved the way for me to go to one of the top 50 universities in the country at the time. And then it got me to where I'm at today.